Hi, everyone. Thanks for being with us, and welcome to Local Insights, a public affairs program brought to you by this radio station and Waterloo Media. It's all about bringing you important information of interest to Austin and all of Central Texas. A very unique organization that we're going to be talking about today, and one that's doing incredibly good work for so many young people in our area. They've been doing this now for over 20 years. It's Cars for Kids here in Austin. Rudy Oeftering is with us. He's chairman of the board for Cars for Kids. Rudy, thanks a lot for being with us on the program today.
Oh, Kenny, I'm so excited to tell your listeners about the important work we're doing.
And we are looking forward to that. So for those not familiar with who you all are and what you do, give us just a quick overview, please.
The carsforkids.org, Cars for Kids, is the charity that supports the Texans Can Academies. As a matter of fact, we have a campus there in Austin and about a dozen others throughout the state of Texas. And what we do is we take car donations, not just cars, but people have donated forklifts, boats, jet skis, anything that's running or not running. Mm-hmm. As far as a vehicle, we will take it, auction it at our weekly auction. Then when the auction's finished, we take those funds and we help the Texans Can Academy help their students. Now, you got to understand the Texans Can Academy is a specifically charged charter school that only helps, that is focused on kids who are having trouble getting through high school. And there's so many needs. And, it is a state-funded charter school, but, you can't buy a kid clothes, you can't buy their food, you can't, help them in the way they need to be helped just with state funding. So Cars for Kids goes the extra mile.
Well, it certainly sounds like it, and that's very interesting. And so help us understand a little more. Right before we got started here today, you kind of gave me an example of how the principals at these Texas Can Academies are empowered to use the proceeds that you all provide to them in the ways that they would think would best serve some of the students that they're working with. Tell us how that works.
Absolutely. This is the critical difference between us and so many other charities, is that we've got thousands of students, frankly, with thousands of different needs, and we don't know what's going to pop up. I'll give you one example just from last week. We had a principal in Austin who had a student call him and said, hey, I can't come to school because I've got to go to work because I have a flat tire. Well, the principal said, put him on hold, called Discount Tire, sent them to the tire store, got them a used tires just so that they could get to school, and they were able to make it to school that day.
Wow.
Now, this may sound like something small to the to some folks, but it is those little things that are such a hurdle for the type of student that we serve.
Well, that's a great example because we know certainly the stories we've heard all the time about chronic absenteeism. And we know full well, those you miss a day here, you miss a day there, it all adds up, and then that puts the student that much further behind. So that's...
Well, and that's a real issue because so many of the kids that we have are behind, and most of the time it's not because of any of not wanting to go to school. Many of them have a sick parent or a major family event or an illness themselves that is preventing them from getting to school every day. So these are the kids, we kind of call it education triage. We've got kids coming in the door every day that are looking for that second chance to get a high school diploma. And can I tell you about something else we do that's really, really new and exciting?
Of course.
Sure. This is something that that our board of directors, we're all volunteers, and the principals and the administration of Texans Can came to us and they said, hey, it's one thing for these kids to get a high school diploma, but let's try to go the extra mile. Let's get them certified. They can walk out the door with not only a high school diploma, but maybe a certification in being an electrician, Microsoft. Many of our students are getting social media certifications. And these are jobs that we know that are in demand. And what we really, really enjoy is when the community steps forward. And for example, this is a great example. In our Fort Worth campus, we had an electrical company that needed electricians.
Mm-hmm.
They built a virtual reality classroom so the kids could put on the virtual reality goggles, and they actually wire a room after class. And these skills that they're gaining are allowing them to walk out into good-paying jobs. And Kenny, I have to tell you something that's just so interesting about that program is when given a chance, girls are the better electricians than the boys. It's really interesting. But they need the chance, and they need the opportunity to gain confidence.
Well, those are great stories, and certainly whether it's in the trades or in the field of high tech, we know those opportunities are out there. And that's what a great focus that you all have to help get kids ready for those kinds of opportunities.
We are focusing on the little things that keep them from getting to school, and then we're also trying to use the extra funds from those car donations to focus on the big things as well.
Yeah.
Because, there's these little obstacles, but we want every kid that comes through our door to have the opportunity to become a productive citizen rather than a victim. And this is the statistics are so dramatic when it comes to this issue. A kid with a high school diploma and a certification earns about $13,500 a year more than a kid without one.
Wow.
So we are really focused on getting these kids on the right track. And there's more success stories than I can possibly tell you, but it's very gratifying to be a part of this.
Well, for sure.
And people can help.
Well, let's talk about that very thing and break it down for us, just the easy steps. I'm sure there's a website where they can get more details, Rudy, but just in essence, if somebody's listening today, they have a car, they'd like to help, give us kind of an easy 1, 2, 3 of how that might work, please.
Well, the easiest thing to do is to go to carsforkids.org, cars with a C. Please, I don't want your listeners to confuse it with the jingle they hear on the radio all the time. That's actually an East Coast operation that tries to get donations in Texas to support things in New Jersey and New York.
Okay.
We believe that people should donate their cars in their community where it does the most good. And Cars for Kids and its association with the Texans Can Academy allows them to simply fill out a simple form. If they want to call us, it's 866-835-5437.
Mm-hmm.
That's 866-835-KIDS. And we have people answering the phone that can help them. And here's another really, really important issue. We have this happen all the time, and we've dealt with this thousands of times. Say there's a grandparent that's moved into an assisted living facility. They don't need their car anymore, and they haven't driven it for years, and it doesn't start, and nobody knows where the title is. Well, we will take that car, we will take that boat, we will take that RV, and we will fix the title and then put it on the auction stand. It's where that would be very time consuming and difficult for someone. It's honestly, we've done it 1,000 times. We have the system down pat. We know the rules, and we can get that car or whatever vehicle it is to have a title and be able to put it out there, and your listeners can have a huge impact on a child's life and make extra space in the garage.
Well, for sure. And as you mentioned a moment ago, it's not just cars. It can be any other kind of a vehicle, a motorcycle or something else. And I think even a boat, you said, right? Or a jet ski?
Yeah. If you drive through our lot of donated vehicles, you'll even see a tractor or a forklift. I remember seeing a forklift someone donated.
Mm-hmm.
And businesses can donate it to us as well if they have an old vehicle of any kind. Their business can write that completely off at its current market value, and even if it's not running. So they may be better off actually donating the car to us, getting the tax write-off. And as just an extra thank you, we'll always send out a $50 gift card to whoever is nice enough to donate to the organization.
Well, very good. Okay, so that phone number again, 866-835-5437. And how about mentioning that website for us one more time, please?
Yeah, it's Cars for Kids with a C, C-A-R-S, for kids. Now, when they hit Cars for Kids, they might have someone that's paying a lot more for a web placement than we are, but make sure you specifically go to Cars for Kids with a C. And if they'll do that, it's such a win-win. We give you a tax deduction. We make extra room in your backyard or your driveway or your garage or your workshop. And on top of that, you really are helping make a difference in a kid's life when they need it the most. Because once they're past age of going to high school, and it just multiplies and becomes so much harder to help them.
Absolutely.
So, you hear children's charities that are always, many of them are focused on the younger kids, and that's great. But the older kids need help too. Mm-hmm. And frankly, they're still kids, even if they're 17 years old.
Yeah.
So that's what we want your listeners to think about.
And just to clarify, that was carsforkids.org. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. Rudy Oeftering, chairman of the board for Cars for Kids. It's been great speaking with you, and so much appreciate you telling us about your program today and all of the good work that you're doing and will continue to do. We just say congratulations on 20-plus years, and we wish you continued success.
Yes, thank you. And don't forget, write off the car, not the kid. And thank you so much, Kenny, for talking to me today.
Thank you, Rudy.
You have a great day.